y'all. This real life hood stories featuring Zito Green once again. Yeah, y'all, I'm gonna be busting out with some new clothes soon. The Blunt Man shit gonna still be there. And the neglected talent, that's gonna be some shit I'm gonna be busting out with soon too. And look forward to beats coming out, music. All the music on this channel is original music, no samples, and produced by me. But as far as the name Neglected Talent, I made that name up and shit because I feel that that's something that a person really wouldn't want to do, is neglect their talent. And that's something that I feel that I've been doing like over the years, throughout my life and shit, neglecting the things that I really want to do and replace other things that, is satisfying me.
Please fasten driver's seatbelt.
Momentarily, you know what I'm saying? It's just giving me moments. It's just giving me like I was mostly going for things that's like instant gratification. You know what I'm saying? And in life, you can't really, expect things to work for you instantly or overnight and shit. Like, so if you doing hair, you a barber, you know what I'm saying? You gotta practice that shit. You want to learn how to play piano, you gotta practice. You can't just work at it 1 or 2 days, and if you ain't Mozart, you gonna want to quit and shit. That's not how things work. We all wasn't born and came out the womb walking and talking and shit. That shit takes time and practice. Just like anything else. So, just if you got any talents, I suggest that you tune into them. Practice it. Practice make perfect. And with no further ado, we're gonna start the true real life hood stories, man. This is a true story, but the name of the show is Real Life Hood Stories. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about when I went to boot camp and shit. Me and my bro got arrested out of town and all that, and then I had to do my time in boot camp, Lakewiew shop. And I had a 2 to 4. I had a 2 to 4 bid, and that's what I was looking at. And I'm gonna tell you something about the criminal mind, how that shit worked. Because I was a young, stupid motherfucker back then. I ain't gonna lie. Still do dumb shit, but I was a dumb motherfucker back then. And this is how the criminal mind worked. Because I knew that all the shit that I was doing, I knew the time that it held. So I knew in my mind that I already did a bid previously to this one. And I knew that I could get boot camp. I knew that if my bid for selling a direct sale or getting caught with a lot of drugs on me, the most time that I could get is like 3 years. And that's gave me a reason. I justified that shit in my mind to move reckless throughout the streets and shit and just do all types of shit. Like, so when I caught this bid and all that, they gave me boot camp. And inside Schenectady jail, it's nothing like Rikers Island. You don't get any movement. You don't go out to chow. You don't go out to rec. You don't go out to the doctor. You don't go to the law library. You don't go to church. None of that. They don't got none of that in there. And basically, you just sitting there, sitting duck. There's no smoking. If you get caught smoking weed, you get in a 2 to 4 bid. Just for the weed, not for your current case. They was giving dudes fresh new cases for smoking weed in the jail. So the shit was fucked up. You couldn't work and get movement. And the one worker that they did have that brought the food or whatever to our part of the jail, his pay was a coffee and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So I don't know. Nobody really was breaking their neck to do that job. But in jail, you'd be surprised. Your peanut butter and jelly and a coffee goes a long way when there ain't no peanut butter or coffee available. So yeah, that's how that shit went. So I was quick to cop out. Like, yo, give me my time so I could take my stupid ass to fucking Lakeview Shock. Lakeview Shock is the boot camp facility and shit in upstate in Brockton, New York, close to Canada. So I'm in boot camp and shit, and I hated that shit, man. That shit, waking up every morning, 5 in the morning, by a fucking by taps, like that shit that you see on a cartoon with the fucking cartoon character blowing a horn like doo 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 doo. That shit is dead serious. You gotta wake up to that shit every single morning. Every single morning at 5 a.m. Every day. This shit goes down. So you could imagine, I'm a person at that time, I couldn't really sleep at night because I'm thinking about the streets, thinking about everybody, thinking about my brother and shit. Like, both of my brothers and shit. I'm like, yo, my little brother and shit, he was going out of town. So I was like, oh yeah, when I get out, I'm linking up with him. And my other brother was down south and he was doing shows and shit, like promoting shows for like Brand Nubian and Nori and Cam and different niggas and shit. So he was sending me pictures and all that. So I'm like, oh yeah, when I get home, I'm gonna be unstoppable. I got both of my brothers and shit, both doing good. There ain't no way that I'm gonna fail and shit on this time coming out. One day I get a call. They call my name and shit. So my CO was like, yo, you got an interview and shit. What you did? I'm like, the fuck you mean what I did? He's like, I don't know. They usually don't call people to come down there unless they got like information or you probably got another case or something. I'm like, damn. I'm like, fuck. So they call me, they go to the room and all that. I go to the room, it's like a father, like a preacher and shit. He got the the black and white collar on and all that. So now I get in there, it's quiet, it's just me and him. I sit down, he's like, yo, what's your he's like, yo, tell me about yourself, like what's your life like? So I'm telling him and all that. He's like, what you arrested for? Shit like that. So I'm telling him and shit. And he's like, so tell me about your family. How's your family like? So I'm telling him about, cause I got a brother that's from my father, but my mom's got 2 kids. It's me and my other brother and shit. So I start telling him about my mother's son. So I'm telling him about him. So he's like, yo, hold on, it don't sound like the same person. So he like, do you have another brother? Do you have someone else that you know named Robert? I'm like, yeah, that's my other brother. That's Mooka and shit or whatever. So he's like, yeah, I'm sorry to tell you, but Mooka's not with us anymore. So I'm like, what the fuck? Everything just slowed down. So I'm like, nah, I'm like, so he's telling me or whatever. So he's like, well, you're not going to be able to go to the funeral because the way that your brother lost his life will be a security risk for you because somebody could come to retaliate on you or something and we can't let you go. And your aunts, they trying to get you to, they was calling up here to tell us to let you know everything was going on. But I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to attend the funeral. Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm alright. But so now I'm walking back to the dorm and I'm just thinking about this shit. I'm like, I'm looking at his face in my mind. I'm just looking at him and then I'm just feeling like, I just pictured them like putting my brother in the casket and just like putting the dirt on him. I just couldn't breathe. Like it just felt like all of my air was like going out my chest. Like I couldn't even breathe for a hot second. Like I started feeling like I had a mean anxiety attack or like claustrophobic or some shit. I was like, damn, bro. But to this day and shit, it never really like I guess like I never really got closure of my brother, you know what I'm saying, getting killed because I wasn't there like to witness it. I wasn't there to go through the motions with my family or whatever, shit like that. So it was like a little blank situation there or whatever. And my brother Mooka and shit, he had a me and him, we used to look just alike and shit. So when I got out of boot camp, I was just out of program and shit, and I was talking to this girl and then shit, she was cool. And I mean, we used to be in there talking and shit on our lunch break and all that. So when she left one day, she put me on the phone with her homegirl. So now we on a three-way, and she like, yo, what's up? Yeah, she told me about you. You know what I mean? This boy that she met or whatever in her program. And she was like, yo, she says that you look just like this kid that we used to know named Mooka. I'm like, Robert? They like, yeah. They be like, yo, we know. I'm like, yo, that's my brother, yo. The girls like, yo, I gotta come meet you. So she come to my house and shit. They come to my house. As soon as the girls see me, she break down and start crying and shit. But I ain't know that. I ain't really realized like how much me and Mooka looked alike and shit. So now I start going around Lambert, around his block. Motherfuckers is walking the other way, like people covering their face and shit. Like, yo, like they calling my moms and shit. My sister and my brother moms and shit. They calling her like, yo, it's some dude like walking around here. Yo, this nigga look like Mooka. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, motherfuckers thought they was seeing a ghost. He had a little brother named and shit. So we was like he was just like him and shit. But he was just like Mooka. Them niggas was young, but they would be with like a 30-year-old. They would be like 17, 18 hanging out with 30-year-old guys and shit like that. Like, that's what type, these dudes was like way ahead of their time and shit. And I used to hang out with him and shit, with my brother's little brother and shit. You know what I mean? We called each other brothers too as well. So I mean, he's my brother too. And it was like November the 30th or something, 29th. It was like the ending of November. My birthday is in December, at the beginning of December or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, you know, we going. You know what I mean, I want you to hang out with me on my birthday and shit. Like, he's like, nah, yo, for sure. Like, nah, that's a must. Like, so we already had it set up. So I'm like, nah, don't even worry about it. Like, I'm gonna call you and shit. Next morning, I get a phone call from my cousin and shit. She like, yo, he in the hospital, yo. I don't think he even gonna make it. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, yo, he got shot over there on Tremont or whatever. So, I mean, it was like, yo, he not gonna make it. I'm like, damn. That's why, like, that neighborhood, I don't even go over there. We gotta stay away from that shit, man. To lose like two brothers over the same shit, like, I mean, it was like, yeah, I'm glad I got away from that neighborhood while I had a chance and shit. Cause as soon as when I left from over there, like, mad dudes that I used to be around and shit, go clubbing with, all got killed, like, over there. Yo, that shit is like it's like a dark cloud over there in that neighborhood, man. You go past that shit, you don't see nobody outside. Like, everybody be like dwelling in the buildings and in the stairwells and shit, like on some greasy rat shit, like. So yeah, like, I don't really like do that neighborhood over there, man. And the reason why I tell that story is basically just to say that, you know, we all have loved ones and shit, man. So just do your best to stay close to your loved ones, spend quality time with them, and shit like that, man. Because tomorrow not promised.